Alright, welcome to another episode of Sprite Lovers. This is our November pickups video. So once again, a pretty successful month. We've been pretty lucky this fall. And hopefully after Christmas we'll continue with this luck, the same luck that we've had now. So we got quite a bit of stuff to go through, so we're going to get started right away.
We're going to breeze through it, because it's a lot of stuff.
Yes, you ready?
Ready, as always.
Right. Kick it into overdrive! Alright, now that we're back down from overdrive, I'm going to quickly go over, really quickly go over the pickups we got in Albany on our road trip video, which was our last video, if you saw that. If you want to hear more about each game in detail, go watch that video. It's pretty cool. And I'm just going to go through them real quick. So, for NES, a little Nemo Dream Master by Capcom.
Really awesome.
For Sega Saturn, a Stall, great game.
So happy to have this.
To go along with our U-Draw tablet that Megan got last month at Kmart for real cheap, Pictionary.
I know I'm getting a lot of hate for
Yeah, we're getting a lot of
but...
comments on the Pictionary from people who have seen that we got it, but it was cheap and it's another game to use the U-Draw tablet. And Pictionary is a fun classic board game, so it'll be fun. But Eternal Sonata.
Yes, been wanting this one for a while.
For Genesis, Phantom 2040, pretty neat. I tried it out. Seems to be a decent platformer so far. A couple loose cartridge games. Got Pac-Man Pinball for Game Boy Advance. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for Game Boy. Is it color or regular Game Boy?
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
Cool. I see the big... Oh yeah, I should have known it had the bigger cart. And then Game Boy Color Tarzan. Megan played when she was younger.
Yeah.
Then we got a couple disc-based games here. That were really good finds. We got, for Dreamcast, Elemental Gimmick Gear, or EGG. Tail Concerto for PS1. And Elemental Gearbolt for PS1. So two games with Elemental on the titles, but that's pretty funny. And then some DS games. Bomberman, which I've been playing quite a bit of since I got it. Pretty cool. The box for Children of Mana. We used the game itself for store credits, so we already had the game.
That's a little more complete.
No, it's a little more complete. Still need the book, but a little more complete.
Yes.
Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue. Awesome game.
I played a good chunk of this finally after getting it. It's really awesome.
Cool. To complete our Magical Star Sign, we got the book and box for that. The sealed Mega Man Zero collection, which is not sealed anymore, because you've been playing it.
Yeah.
But great to finally have that. And the last one is this cool 3D platformer type game called Mushroom Men
Rise of the Fungi.
So, cool game. That was our Albany pickups.
Cool.
Again, check the last video we did if you want to see those games in more detail. And you got a couple more things in Albany.
Yes,
but
I did.
We won't go into detail too much, but...
The Duda from Forgotten Freshness, Frank, gave me a couple free Skylanders, because, again, you know, I don't have enough of them. But if you can see the shelf. But yeah, got these three. Very happy to add those, and thank you, Frank, for giving those to me for free. So. Something really quick that we mentioned in one of our past videos, but we figured for our November pickups we'd show it again, because we technically did get it in the month of November. The Art of Video Games book. Watch our review of the Everson exhibit, and also there was this cool shirt, which I was wearing for that video, but I figured I'd show it off because I loved it so much. Show it off again. Got that from Video Games Live. So
check that video. That was 2 videos ago.
Yeah.
For the more detailed look at both of those events, but we had to show those pickups as well. So we went to a Pawn King, which is a pawn store mini chain in the Syracuse area. I went to one that's right around the corner from where we moved here in April. And it was the first time I've been there. And once I saw that they had a pretty decent selection of games there, we've been kind of on a Pawn King spree, checking all the Pawn Kings in the area. And what's cool about them is they flat price things across the board. So like every Xbox 360 and PS3 game is $10. So crap is $10, but then there's some games that are great that are $10.
Yeah, really cheap. So, yeah, before this month I actually never stepped foot in a Pawn King. I didn't really know what to expect. They're known for being a little bit of shady. But I love thrift stores, I love garage sales, I love flea markets, so why wouldn't I love Pawn King?
And as long as you just do the same thing we do when you go to flea markets and thrift stores, is just check it. If it looks good to our standards, will take a chance on it, because you don't have the guarantee that you do with like a good game store or something. But you know, you take that chance at a discounted price, it's worth taking that risk. So if you want to show
yeah,
off
absolutely. Well, I'll start off. This was one of the Skylanders I got from Pong King, which was only a couple bucks. Have him added into my collection now. I'll grab these. These are just a couple of manuals we came across to finish off some.
Yeah, they were in the wrongly labeled box of another game, but
yeah, but if we ever get, I mean, well,
we have that one,
we
so
have
it's kind
this
of a
one,
double.
but if you know somebody wanted to trade it with us, or if we ever get this game, at least we have them. They're pretty cool.
So free things.
Crash Team Racing, Black Label,
Oh, such a good game.
in really good condition. And what I love about it is there's an ad for Spyro's Ripto's Rage out there. So, but yeah, only a couple bucks.
Yeah, I was playing that last week, and it was really, really awesome. I played a demo of it back in the day, but I never owned it, so now I'm like, yeah.
I played it so much. My neighbor's kids had it growing up, and we used to play it a lot.
So good.
This weekend, the guy actually gave it to us for free. It probably doesn't even work, but hey, it was free. So for PlayStation 2, it's Athens 2004 Olympics.
Yeah, Olympic game.
I don't know. I guess you can demonstrate your athletic ability on the dance mat. So
I must use the dance mat.
That's
we
why
have the
I
dance
gave
mat,
it
so
to us for free.
Yeah.
You can represent one of 64 countries. Yeah, this looks interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Free's good.
It was, yeah. Portal Runner, which I don't know anything about this game,
Yeah.
but there is a half-naked girl wearing tiger print, green tiger print. She's got green hair and there's a lion in the background going like, wow.
Yeah,
So
I tried this out. It's alright.
It looks awful and awesome.
Really weird, but and I think
I like those kind of games.
a friend of ours said it's actually in the Army Men series of games, which I went back and did some research and saw that they're like, this is the girl from Army Men,
but yeah,
you wouldn't know playing it. It's just weird stuff, space and chess pieces and lions.
For $2.
Yep.
You know. Yes, finally happy to own this. PlayStation 2, Jack Combat Racing.
Awesome.
Or X Combat Racing, excuse me. But I love this series, and it's cool to finally have the racing version of it.
It is really good. I was surprised with the
It is awesome. I
control
have tried a demo of it.
and the frame rate really smooth. Awesome game.
Yeah. This last thing. I played this game earlier in the year. Absolutely fell in love with it. I unfortunately haven't played the first and second of this, which I'm gonna hopefully play right away because they're terrific games. But this game, absolutely loved it. Loved the characters, loved the storytelling, loved the music. Like one of the hands down best games of the year. The key thing though, it came out this year. It's a new game. Even though it's gone down in price, it's still, you don't find it this cheap.
For $29.99 probably is the cheapest you can see.
Yeah, and now that I've built the suspense up a little bit, boom, Bioshock
Infinite.
Got it for $10.
$10, and it was barely played.
Mint.
I mean, it was.
It still has the like season pass and everything.
Yeah.
But like hands down one of my favorite games of this year,
Great.
and I owe it to this guy because he spotted it. But yeah, Pawn Store. So that's what I got. You got some cool stuff.
Yeah, there's
too.
some other Pawn Store finds, just various ones. This I thought was cool because you don't see this game even at like game stores that much. So, and it's Beautiful Joe Double Trouble for DS. And if you've never played the Beautiful Joe games, the first one was on GameCube, eventually came to PS2, and it's a great side-scrolling game with cool stylized graphics, wicked fun. It plays like a classic platformer, but with some really cool time effects. You can slow down time, and like if rockets are coming at you, you can like knock them back at guys.
That's
really
awesome.
cool. And the DS version, there was a couple for DS. I think one was like a fighting game, like Smash Brothers type, and I didn't really care to play that one. But this one is another 2D platformer, and I love those. And well, it's 2D but with 3D graphics, so 2.5D. But really cool game. So that was awesome to find that there. I think this is the one that had the instruction manuals in there. So I gotta get, I did get the manual for $1 on eBay. After I got this, I looked it up and there was $1 one. So now it's complete. So awesome to have that. Loose Dreamcast game, or not loose Dreamcast game, but just a random one in the piles that I found that I played a demo of once. It's called Star Lancer, and it's a space flight sim. It reminds me of Colony Wars for the PlayStation 1, which is slightly better, but this is a pretty nice game for $2, so that was cool. For PlayStation 1, I got Star Wars Dark Forces, and it's the greatest hits version, but it's in really good condition, and it played.
And it was funny too because I remember like it wasn't in with the rest of the games.
Like
it was like in the bottom, like towards
Upside
the
down.
back, and What is
And
that?
what's funny is I had played the PC version of this with my friend Tom a couple weeks back. We were like, let's play some old Windows 95 PC games, and this was one of them. We were like, let's play Star Wars Doom, because that's basically what it is. It's like a Doom clone, but in the Star Wars universe. And so we played it for a couple hours. It was fun. And then I was like, maybe I'll get the PS1 version if I ever see it somewhere. So wouldn't you know, when I was at the pawn shop, it was upside down, and I'm like, but I saw like LucasArts and like one of the screen pictures on the back that had and it had something else on it. So I was like, I think that might be Dark Forces. So I had them check, and it was. So got that, which was really cool. And then a couple other PS2 and GameCube games. Got for PS2, I had this game loose, like just the disc. So just to get the case and instructions, it's Rebel Raiders Operation Nighthawk flight sim with airplanes, like jets and stuff, and it's alright. It's not great, but for the Pawn King price, it was worth it. And then these next two are cool because they're PSP games that were ported also to the PS2. So I have one of them. I'll show that one first. I have the PSP version of Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, which is like a side story in Liberty City from GTA 3, but with different characters, and there's some crossover in the story from what would happen in GTA 3. Really cool. They added motorcycles to the PSP version, which wasn't in GTA 3 when it came out, so it took some of the stuff from later GTAs. But it's plays pretty well on the PS2, so it's good to have a home console version. And then the other PSP game is Silent Hill Origins that got ported to PS2, and after the Xbox 360 one I tried, I feel like the Silent Hill series is starting to die, but this one I missed, and I was like, let me check it out. And
it started off very cool.
Really
yeah,
cool.
We popped it in, and the same like music and feel
the music was good. Really creative camera angles and use of music for the tension in the beginning, so I was like, ooh, this feels kind of like classic Silent Hill, so really glad I got that one. And then this next one I have, but because it was so cheap, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool seeing this other version. One of my favorite games, is probably my top 10 favorite games of all time, is Metroid Prime for the GameCube. It's such a wonderful game, and so they had it there, but on the spine it looked like the regular game, but if you look at it, it actually comes with a Metroid Prime 2 demo disc. So I thought, why not? I mean, it wasn't worth anymore, but it's cool having a 2-disc version.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite games. I don't mind having multiple copies in various forms. In fact, I have Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii, which has a Wii Control version, which is actually amazing. So that's my favorite way to play it. But great game, and figured why not pick that up. And then this was cool. Anytime you can find a Mario game for $2, that's a cool thing. And they had Mario Golf Toadstool Tour for GameCube. So pretty good finds at the pawn shops. And there's other pawn shops now I gotta look at. We just went to the Pawn Kings, so I'll check some other places.
But you never know what you'll find.
Yep.
So it's all about that.
Always good to go on the hunt. And, that's like our favorite part. So, so pretty good stuff there.
Cool. So I got a couple other things. These are just sort of, we got around town miscellaneous.
Different visits.
Yeah.
Different stores.
I'll start with these two. Wampum for Nintendo. Had this as a kid. It was my parents'. Now I have it in my collection, which is pretty cool. It's really fun. It's totally a Mega Man ripoff, but it's so much fun. Yes. I mean, I would say right down to like the style fighting, and there's parts that are really, really hard, and you have to like definitely play through a few times before you get used to like the timing.
Yeah, I mean, besides the setting and characters being like Native American and forests and stuff like that, it still feels like Mega Man in the progression. You get powers from the bosses and stuff. Pick the order of levels you want to go through.
So it's a lot of fun. Very glad.
And you don't shoot a gun. That's the only difference.
Next thing, I've been wanting this a while. I actually still gotta get the label off it, but it's so much fun. Bubble Bobble.
The first one, not the expensive second one, but
the first one is so much fun. I never played this before until like a couple days ago or yesterday. This is a lot of fun, and you can play with somebody else. So be great to co-op it sometime. But very cute, very addicting, very like happy, and you can't help but feel happy when you play it. So very cool pickup there. Next couple things I'm just gonna run through real quick. Tetris Attack for Game Boy.
Puzzle game.
This was only $1, so I was like, why not? Battleship, Risk, Clue for Game Boy fans.
3 games in there. That's pretty cool.
And they're all fun games. And I actually never played the other one, but Road Rash
Jailbreak, I think.
Road Rash Jailbreak for Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I was having a blast.
It was pretty fun. I played it. It's I mean, I'm a fan of the series. Wasn't up to the par, but it's okay. I mean, it's for that price, it's good.
Yeah, again, it was really cheap, and it's a
fun.
good little Game Boy Advance game to have on the go. Now I got this for PlayStation. Getting tongue tied there. See, I'm all excited. For PlayStation now, I have it on PSP. Medieval Resurrection. It's just the first one, only on the PSP.
Yeah, it had some tweaks and stuff.
Yeah, and it's in beautiful condition. One of my favorite games, so I'm very happy to have this on the PSP. Next thing I got, I love games like this. I know I probably get so much shit for it, like the Pictionary, but Jeopardy.
We like Jeopardy.
My dad every night watches Jeopardy still to this day. Zach, one of my nephews, and I went through a phase where we were watching Jeopardy. All three of us have been playing Jeopardy like on
Genesis and
stuff. So Jeopardy is like runs in this family. So I saw this, and I haven't actually had a chance to really try it out. But I guess you have the choice of either doing multiple choice or answering
typing the letters in, which is better.
Which is why I prefer to do it that way too. But yeah, I'm really excited to have that.
One bummer about it is it says it's got single card download play. That's one of the reasons we got it. We're like, the three of us can play on our DSs and it'll be fun. It wasn't connecting, and we play other games connected, so I don't know if it was the game or our DSs weren't working, but it just was annoying because that's kind of why we wanted to get it, but
yeah.
We'll try it again.
But
so,
woo-hoo,
cool.
We get that. This, I saw a video, I can't remember, was it
Game Sack, a great channel on YouTube.
These two dudes that just
talk about this game.
Talk about different games and play through different games. They're really cool. I would check them out if you have the time. They were talking about this game called Monkey King. Actually, it was about an episode about different shooters. And
no, I think it was a remix, wasn't it? Because it was originally an old some Japanese shooter called something Japanese. I don't remember.
Yeah. But anyway, this was on Wii. We got this for like $1.
Yeah.
But it just looks really cool. Monkey King. The legend begins.
It's based on some old. This is probably the same old legends that like Dragon Ball came from, and like what's that game with the Enslaved?
Yes.
Or Xbox 360. They based off of some of this old stories and stuff. So.
But it looks really cool. It looks like you fight some really interesting.
And it was $1.
Yeah, it was $1, and it looked cool from the video that we watched it. Last thing I got, really cheap from Walmart, was SSX. Back in the day, there were a couple snowboarding games I played. Of course, I can't remember now because I was really little, but I always enjoyed snowboarding games. This game sort of brought that like childhood joy back. And at the beginning of the game, you just like fall out of a plane for the first 5 minutes. You're like
skydive training. It's pretty cool.
And like
yeah, we were like, this game's pretty cool.
It's so sick. It's awesome. I love it. It's funny because I hate where I live because of the snow and the weather, and I would probably never go out and actually snowboard and ski, but I get to live vicariously.
Cool game, yep.
But really, really fun pickup, so glad I got that.
And I'll go through some others. These are more continuing our randoms that Megan was showing off. So this is, of the ones I've played, my favorite Bomberman game. And that is Mega Bomberman for the Genesis. I really want to get it complete, but they had a really good, nice quality copy at Voltage, and my friend held it for me, so I got that. Great game. I want to get a multi-tap so we can play 4-player on the Genesis, but it's of the Bombermans I played, more than like 5 minutes of. This is my favorite, but I haven't played too much of the Super Nintendo ones other than once or twice in my life. But I want to get Saturn Bomberman the most. That's the one I want to look for, but of course it's wicked expensive. But this will tide me over, and I got the DS one, as you saw earlier, too. So I love Bomberman. It's such a great multiplayer game, and great to have that. And then every once in a while, a game comes along that is a little more than you want to spend. It's you got to break the bank to get these kinds of games, and we had to take
a loan out.
Yes.
For this one. That was a hard time.
This is tough, having to do something for this. But sometimes you just got to bite the bullet, you know? So that game, right here in my hand, is Link's Crossbow Training for the Wii. And it didn't come with a zapper. That would have probably cost us even more. But The
we were just fortunate enough that we could make ends meet for the month.
Yep, just to make this thing.
Just to make this purchase
And
happen.
this wonderful game cost us, hold on, 49 cents. But wait, luckily for us, we had the power up rewards for GameStop where we got it, so it was only 44 cents plus tax. So it was between 45, 55 cents. It was well worth it. I mean, we now own Link's crossbow training. So, but just want to let you know, it's tough making these decisions. But we got a couple other games now at Clutter Ducks. When she got a couple of the games she was looking for, I got Crazy Taxi 3 High Rollers for original Xbox. I also had Xbox One. Whoo! Sound the alarms. It's going to be confusing. And this is, I love the Crazy Taxi series. It was classic when I played it on the Dreamcast. And what I like is a lot of the early, when Sega first went third party after the Dreamcast was their last system, there was a lot of games that came out for the original Xbox that I feel were like probably going to be on Dreamcast, so they came out on original Xbox. So this is one of them. I have a couple of the other ones that I think are great, and this will be pretty good because Crazy Taxi is good arcade fun. So glad I got that. And then this is a Game Boy Advance shooter called Iridium 3D, and it's really cool. It moves kind of at a snail's pace now that I've played it this year rather than when I played it before. But it's the graphics, when you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's on Game Boy Advance. And I was playing on the Game Boy Player on the GameCube, and it looked really good. I was like, that's a Game Boy Advance game. But it's through tricks, like looping, not video, but it's almost like the backgrounds remind me of like animated GIFs where they're like looping with these graphics, so it makes it look better than it is, but it doesn't use too much of the hardware. So really cool game. I wanted to get it. It was like 99 cents, so glad to finally have that. And then just some other randoms I got at the thrift store. I got two things actually when I went to the thrift store. This was except for one crack in the front on the case, the disc and everything else is like mint, and that's Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge for Dreamcast. Might not be that good. I played the first Frogger remake when it first was remade, probably on a demo disc or something. It was alright. It's Frogger, but they do like more creative stuff than just the road from the original. But pretty cool Dreamcast game in the wild. Don't really see that.
At least there's new creative ways to squish poor Frogger.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
And then I got a couple other games here from some friends. A friend of mine sold his Dreamcast, so he had these Dreamcast games that he's like, I'm not even going to probably sell these. So one of them is another snowboarding game called Rippin' Riders. I think I played this back in the day, I don't remember, but it's not as good as like, the 1080s, the SSX games. One of my favorites, by the way, side note, is Steep Slope Sliders for Sega Saturn. If you've ever played that, or never played that, it's really... Steep Slope Sliders. It's a tongue twister name, but it's a really fun snowboarding game, even though it's a little chunky looking. But this one not as good as any of those, but hey, for free. And then another free game is NBA Showtime NBA on NBC with Shaq on the cover. So
he's so angry.
And the ball's on fire. That's probably why his hands are burning.
I don't think he's that muscular now.
Yeah.
He's getting up there.
Yeah, he's getting older. So this was what 1999. So
wow.
This is back when he was a youngster. So
Shaq Fu.
Free, that was okay. And then a friend of mine gave me for Genesis the Desert Strike, the first in the Strike series. It's a classic game I played a lot when I was a kid. You're an Apache helicopter, and it's really fun, really cool. Back when EA was a budding company, just making smaller scale games.
Jerks.
So that was a good one.
Make you sign up for things
I
online.
know.
And
Exactly.
oh, EA.
But that's another story.
So I got a couple more things that I want to talk about. So this, well, let me start with this. I got this from a good friend of mine. She sold it to me, Stephanie, who will sadly be leaving us.
Yeah, she's moving to Colorado, I believe.
But she gave me, or sold me her Super Mario Brothers 2, which I now have. Love the first one. Played through this a little bit. There's that.
Awesome game.
This, I'm so excited to hold both of these things in my hands right now. I'll just get to it. Just look at the awesomeness.
Nintendo Renaissance for the
yes.
3DS and Wii U or something like that.
I'm sure a lot of you have gotten this, and me and him have been playing through this quite a bit. We had our nephews over last night. We were playing this Super Mario 3D World. So good.
Yes.
I have actually been nice, and I've been letting him play through the new Zelda.
Well, she has to beat Wind Waker and Skyward Sword still,
I have Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Ace Attorney. I have so many games that I'm playing through right now, so I'm gonna let him play. But I am so happy. And this side note was an early Christmas present from him.
Yes, because we don't buy new games very often, if you can tell from our
But
finds.
this game is so fun, the variety and the colors, and it looks beautiful in HD, and it's just so.
It's great.
So fabulous, and then this is just, from what I can see, it's
so
just the music, throwback to a lot of the old other Zeldas and stuff. I could go on forever about these, but these alone made the week amazing.
Okay, so just to finish, we have a few things left. These are just some random voltage video games pickups. This game gets a lot of flack, and it is a little clunky, and it's definitely no GoldenEye, which was the premier Bond game at the time. But I like this better than the movie, and it's got music by Tommy Tallarico, who we met at the Video Games Live concert and got our Earthworm Jim soundtrack signed and stuff. But it's Tomorrow Never Dies. Now, it's not a great Bond game, but it's solid, and it has good variety, and I like it better than some of the other Bond games, later Bond games that people like more. It's neat, and the music is great. And Tommy Tallarico did a great job, because it's his take on the Bond theme, so you got the Bond theme throughout, just like a movie, but it's got great melodies along with it, too, that like video game music has. So that $2, I was like, yep, I'm getting it. So I got that one, and then some of the stuff that we've been showing we got through trade with some duplicate games we had, and so a lot of these games came for free too, and this was one of them, but it was pretty cheap there anyway, and it's got a big label I gotta take off, but it's Saga Frontier 2, and it's an RPG from Square for PS1, so already on to a good start, and it's a really cool game, all hand-drawn backgrounds except for like the battles, which are 3D, but and the sprites for the characters are gorgeous.
Story,
just in the first 5 minutes, me and Meg were like, "Oh my gosh, this is." I mean, not to spoil anything, but it's right in the first 5 minutes, and it's basically like the child and his mother get banished from the kingdom because the son is not what the father wanted. So we were like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool, heavy stuff." So really cool. And then another game, I have the basic version. Was one of my first, along with my first Saturn games, and it's an arcade classic, is Daytona USA. Well, this is Daytona USA Champion Circuit Edition, or Championship Circuit Edition, and it has 2 extra tracks. It's got 2-player split screen mode, and even though the Saturn version isn't as smooth, well, it's not as good looking as the port, a little chunkier, some pop in, it still plays really smooth. The Saturn port was very accurate with the way it plays, so it's a very arcadey fun racer, and this isn't the Saturn Netlink Edition, which, if you don't know what that is, they actually had a few online games, and that was this was one of them when they had the Netlink Edition. So got that, and then lastly, to finish things off on my end, is you might remember in last month's pickup video, my friend Pat gave me some of those little cassette tape holders that I've been using for Genesis games. Well, at the thrift store, I found a larger one, and I want to get a wooden one because it'll look nice and classy, but this is pretty good, and I cleaned it up. It was really dirty, but I cleaned it up, and it holds 60 games, so pretty cool for loose carts. Yep, thrift store, you can find cool stuff like this.
I swear by thrift stores. They're awesome.
So that was good, and we just have a few more little things.
Yeah, this is the section of the video I like to kind of go over some random things.
Other stuff.
I bought, grab these, again, thrift store finds or, other little cheap things. Actually, I'm going to start with this because it's really awesome. I got this for $1 at Goodwill, and it's like brand new. I love Pokemon and anything Pokemon related. This is from Scholastic. I bet it was probably featured in one of those like Scholastic book club things. Yeah. Scholastic How to Draw the Newest Pokemon, and pretty much it just shows you how to draw certain Pokemon.
Yep.
I love how it says in the back, "Congratulations, you're an official Pokemon drawing expert. Now that you can draw the newest Pokemon, your real Pokemon drawing journey can begin. Try drawing your Pokemon in the wild, or competing for the coolest new gym badges, or just draw a group of them hanging out and having fun together. The choice is yours. Go, Pokemon artist, go!" I love it because there's gonna be so many kids like going out and looking for Pokemon and trying to draw them.
Yeah.
But,
or there may have been.
Really cute and awesome.
Yeah,
and
just
I
a
love
neat
it.
little
so,
thing to have.
Next thing we got at the Goodwill is it's only a couple bucks.
Mario.
Mario, what did you do?
Mario, not favorite game.
He needs a little washing and care, but he was only like a couple bucks.
Bucks, yeah.
He's got like a little zipper thing in the back so you can hide your drugs in there.
Yeah. You can put your weed in there.
You can put your mushrooms, your magic mushrooms.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah. That looks
like Ghosty.
inside.
Little Ghosty reference there. Don't look it up. But
yeah, he was
pretty
only
cool.
a couple butts.
Couple butts.
But his head's a little floppy. But
yeah, there's a little loose string that has to be cut off under his eye. But it's other than that, it's and I think
it's a cool addition.
we saw these at Target new, and I think you're supposed to put your Mario jammies in here. Is officially what it is. So, but pretty
Who
cool.
wears jammies that tiny?
No, it's the one Avery has. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah. So there's
they're jammies for a tiny person.
a little person, but
That's
yes.
who Avery is.
So.
Not our tiny person. Somebody else's
Yes.
tiny person. Speaking of things that are tiny, Poliwhirl. He was so cute, and I got him from Clutter Ducks, and my cat's probably gonna destroy this too.
Yeah, we come home to knocked over plushies in this room.
But
and,
look at how cute he
blame our cats.
is. So I'm very happy to get him. Last but not least, found this bad boy at Walmart. Unfortunately, he doesn't do what the box shows. He's supposed to hold his cube of dirt, and he doesn't. His arm pops off. But yeah, I kind of got it. But
Enderman from Minecraft.
that's my Enderman.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like a grunt from Halo. But yeah, he's an Enderman, and he comes with a little mushroom pixel.
Not mushroom references.
Yeah, but I can hide this in the back of my Mario.
Yeah.
But he's so cool, and he bends and he moves, and he's cute and he's creepy, and yay! So we can put him on our shelf.
Yeah, we love
and he can
Minecraft, so
look over.
really neat to have that little figure.
Yeah,
It's just wish he
and
would have held the block like solid, but it does pop the hand or the arms out if you do it the way it shows in
But
the box.
it's cool to have him.
But
He's a
it's
cool
nice.
little figure.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'll go
accurate to
back in.
the look of the game. So
Got a couple more things. Almost done.
Almost
done. Couple more Skylanders. Are you guys sick of seeing these yet?
please mention in the comments below.
Got this couple bucks from him because he's super awesome.
Yeah, I had to go to BJ's to get some
BJ's
stuff
cool
for work,
looking.
and when we were there, I looked and they had all their Giants
Cheap,
figures
so.
were like $3, and I was like, hey, which one don't you have, Megan? And
Yeah,
like snuck that one home for her.
This Boomer guy I got from another local game store, which he goes for not a ton on eBay, but he can fetch pretty
Penny there.
pretty penny for him, so he's pretty cool. Last but not least, Gilgrunt I've had, but I found this really cool variant of him, and I really liked it, and I'm all in. If you know me, I'm all into the variant Skylanders, and this Gilgrunt is all green.
Yeah, he's like a glowy green, so.
Yeah, so he's cool.
Pretty cool.
So, that's our November
That wraps
pickups.
up November. Now we gotta just bundle up because the snow has fallen in central New York, so.
Yeah, it's great weather to play video games.
Yes,
So.
good video game weather. Plus, we're on vacation this week, so.
Even better.
A lot of Sprite lovers and a lot of video games, so we're excited. So,
Definitely.
take care, and we will talk to you soon.